Hello and welcome to the One People Show. Is this on that
Duncan? Are you here? Carlos? Duncan is there. Holy shit, Duncan. Do you feel like talking since we've got you here? If so, come on. Because fuck.
You should be able to, I don't see you as
He's Carlos.
Duncan.
That's
he's Carlos. Can you unmute yourself? Would Jeff unmute you? Because I got no control anymore.
You don't hear me? You're unmuted.
You are unmuted. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Someone's calling you.
We can.
Someone's calling us.
Can you access the video?
I don't know.
No. I think they
We can't see you. We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Hey, I'm working on it. I'm technically insolvent. Okay, that's
Technically insolvent.
Wait, I want to get it. No,
On more levels than one. Yeah.
video. Right there. Start video.
Someone's ringing through. It's like I'm hearing the phone calls coming through from the messenger on. There he is.
There he is.
Susan,
I know what. Sorry.
It's a used computer. What can I say?
How are you?
Alive.
well, I'm glad to hear that you're alive because it sounds like the last week or so has been a little intense.
Funky?
Yeah, you could say that. And that's a mild understatement.
Can I do this?
Hang on, we're trying to make it.
It seems Skype is ringing. You need to turn off your Skype.
Yeah, damn it.
Oh, that would be an interview of a lifetime. Can you imagine if
Not here.
Oh.
No, not here.
Sorry, not yet.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, we're adjusting. Who the hell calling?
No.
I have a cell phone that hasn't worked for a week, and now I start getting calls.
Sorry, fixing the camera.
Hi, Susan.
Shit.
Hi.
Hi.
I just fixed it.
Sorry.
You're making me dizzy.
Sorry.
I know, Duncan, you've been up to some serious fucking adventures for the last week. I don't know if you want to get into that. But yeah, serious fucking weirdness is going on right now.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I'll take like 10 minutes and do a quick report thing, and then I'll get off here and let you guys finish up. This connection will not last very long.
Okay. Yeah, you go for it.
Shoot, go for it. We'll mute.
You guys know what being burned means?
They muted the house. Okay.
Okay, we're being burned. Okay. We're having our transportation, communication, and finances cut off. That is what an agency does when they want to put you out with nothing. And a lot of this has to do with the workshops that we've been doing around the country. We have a boatload of them scheduled. And also with myself, John Storm, and Bear Whitebow, Medicine Man, coming out as a trio talking about MK Ultra.
It gives validation to me.
Triple threat, huh?
Yeah, and what these two do is gives validation to what I've been saying for 20 years. Medicine Bear is not only an MK Ultra guy, but he is the recipient of a Silver Star, 2 Bronze Stars, and 2 Purple Hearts. So when he says something, it carries a lot of weight on the military end of
They're
things.
hitting John.
They hit John Storm to the point to where they left this poor guy with absolutely nothing a couple of months ago. The cops put him out on the street at a bus station with nothing but the clothes on his back in the snow.
No medication for his
None of these meds for his diabetes, anything. They're hitting all of us right now. And
we were planning on doing a fundraiser, but now
we're trying to do a workshop / fundraiser in Florida where he's living right now, but what they've done to us the past few days, we're not sure how that's going to work out. But long story short, we're being burned.
Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you approximately right now?
Are you able to get to Florida?
I was just going to say, are you even able to get to Florida?
No. No, let's just say we're in Iowa. The middle of flipping nowhere.
So if there's anybody in Iowa who wants to take a holiday to Florida and take a couple of passengers.
We don't know anybody here.
Our car 2 hours away.
Our car was towed 2 to 2.5 hours away from here. And they left us in a rest area with basically all we could pick up and carry. We were on our way to a workshop in Denver, Colorado. The state cops that were there were the most apologetic gentlemen you could ever come across. They were literally, one of them I thought was going to cry with what was happening.
Someone called the tow truck guy.
Yeah, they knew exactly where we were going to be staying a couple hours to get a break, because we were going to try and drive straight. We were going to sleep a couple hours. And here's where the crux of all this comes about. I haven't talked about this before. Back in the early 1980s, when I was deep in the projects, I stole a boatload of evidence. I took files, I took paperwork, I took 8mm super, Super 8mm film, the little reels. I took black and white photographs. I took signed documents. I took bearer bonds and put them in a huge aluminum attaché case, put them in the trunk of my car, and I hid them here in Iowa. What's in that case would literally rip the United States government wide open. Now, this morning, I received a communication from MI6 out of London that if I go to London and hook up with them, if I leave Susan,
no, they're going to Maryland.
And if I don't leave Susan, they will Marilyn Monroe her. And I think everybody knows what it means when I say they will Marilyn Monroe her. And if I do this, everything will be fine. I got one thing to say to you MI6 guys. You've tried to take me out for 15 years. Good luck. You haven't been able to do it, and you won't. But in the meantime, we're basically being burned. And their goal is to put us right here where we are with nothing.
And make it look like
an accident happened. So the reason that I'm on here with you guys with this information tonight is to put it public. This is what it is. This is how serious this shit is.
They don't want to have it.
And they don't want the workshops to take place. They do not want the three-way conversation interview with myself, Medicine Bear, John Storm, or anybody else, and they'll do whatever it takes to stop it.
Okay, so I have an idea. What we're going to do at the end of this show is Lisa will stop her recording, and we'll start processing that recording. I'll throw it over on my computer, and I will get your piece right here out. And we will have it uploaded on YouTube immediately and just blast it fucking everywhere.
Cool.
Because I've always said that the safest way to deal with this shit is to be as public as you possibly can be. We have 101 people on live right now who are all witnesses to everything you've just said.
104.
104 people witnessed everything.
Also, and to be straight up, and I don't care to say this publicly, we got a watcher at her window last night. I put 2 inches of a knife blade up his ass last night.
That's okay.
Yes, he did.
Guy ran really fast too.
So
One
if
does what one must.
there is anybody in Iowa who is in a situation where they can, no, I'm asking like the audience and those who will see it, who are in a position to help you out in some way, or anybody for that matter, how can they get
In touch
to
with
you or get in touch with you?
Through our email.
They burned both their phones.
They burned their cell phones.
Yeah.
We took Susan's cell phone into the shop today. Guy looked at it and said, "I've never seen anything like this."
That's how bad they burned it.
Yeah, it fried right sitting on it, just fried.
It was working fine.
And it was working fine. It got hot enough to burn and it fried.
So they're obviously worried about you exposing what's in this aluminium briefcase.
Well, that briefcase, the information there inside would literally rip things apart.
So
I mean,
Is it time to bring it forward? I think you should go get a fucking briefcase and fucking open it.
well, I only remember parts. See, I spelled that thing even for myself.
Yeah.
That's why we were on our way to Denver and we allowed a full day. I have a location, but it's not exact. And we were going to take that full day to go find it. It's in the trunk of a car. And it was my car.
It was
And
Just find it.
it was not many years.
Okay.
It took me years to culminate all this information. And I used multiple resources at that time.
We're losing your audio a little bit. You're fading out.
It's
You're
hard
not
to
cutting
hear you.
out, you're fading out.
Like,
Yeah, it's being jerked with. We're being jerked with. I'm surprised it's actually lasted this long.
No, they.
no, Linda B, different car, Linda. Different car. They took Duncan and Susan's car that they're using to travel with right now. The information is in another car.
Correct. Yeah.
It's from the 80s.
It's I put that case and car in hiding circa about 1983.
He doesn't remember everything. It's not clear. It's not a complete memory. It's fragmented. That's why you're trying to jostle the memory a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know.
Oh, I got it. There's Susan's forehead.
Yes, that's it. That's all you need to see. No,
Get over
no,
here.
no.
If we jostle the screen too much, everything goes crazy.
We just jumped to 105 too. I wonder if
Okay,
he's still
so
in the room.
yeah, exactly. So Duncan, I mean, you and I have had conversations over the last while about your memory and how you have triggers and things happen and they instantly trigger another unlocking of shit that they locked away on you. I assume with the shit that's been going on in the last, especially this last 3-4 months, that you're probably unlocking a hell of a lot of old memory stuff right now.
I remember things
He doesn't always go public with all the stuff that he remembers.
that I don't.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot that he remembered from the past that he just never went to public with. But as this he expressed to me a long time ago, and I mean when we first started, interacting with each other on a personal level, he expressed this specific case in the car a long time ago. I almost thought it was almost like, is it real? Are you sure? Is it really? Like, no,
Libraries of memory.
yeah. Is it
Memorex, yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to ask those questions to be very, to you utilize your critical thinking. Is it a real memory or is it a fabricated screen memory? Because that's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't doubt you don't see things, but we have to ask those questions. And what can use it? It's a real memory. There is a real one. And then we started. Go ahead.
It's a real memory because a lot of people died.
Yeah. And it started coming through a little bit more recently where he was more in a relaxed state, not so much kind of fight or flight, that it would present itself. I guess some of the things that would just kind of all of a sudden resurface a little easier. One little thing at a time, and it would just be very slow, but it was a accumulation of one thing at a time. And so from
Susan, we're having a hard time hearing you, hon. You're kind of garbling out, getting very quiet.
Your audio's getting messy already.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Better.
Okay, I'm screaming now. When people meet me, hopefully I'm not this loud. What part was it that you missed?
Well, it sounded like you were just talking about the memories and how they come in fragmented, and it's about putting them together, bits and pieces, putting them together over time.
I'm better off count. Well, they come in kind of fragmented, but as he's a little bit more calmer, they start to resurface a little easier and a little bit more fluid and more accurate and more vivid memories start to come. And obviously, we use the little magic, the interaction, to kind of bring up the memories forward, because
we use scrying, we use compulsion spells, we use whatever it takes to pull everything in. And the problem is I hid the card in the case, I use magic to hide it. Now I know the area.
You're getting interference.
Are
you guys getting interference?
Yeah, we're not hearing you very well at all.
It gets very, very quiet all of a sudden, where it's just like someone turns down the volume.
Yeah, they're starting to mess with it now. Okay, whatever we do now, we've got to do quickly before we lose everything.
All right. Well, how can we help?
Yeah, exactly.
Apart from getting this clip out as quickly as possible, how can we help?
We need transportation. Straight up.
No, our car. We have transportation. It's 2 hours and two and a half
hours away, but we got to pay to get it back.
Well, there's a lot more to the story that we're gonna like now.
Yes, I wear reading glasses. Okay.
There's much more, but right now, I guess this is kind of like, I think this is the reason why all of a sudden it got really intense. Yeah. It was because, number one, it's okay, find the case, number two, and yeah, it's not a coincidence that it happened in Iowa. Number two, it had more to also the fact that Bear and John Storm and Duncan together are going to come together as MK, because as of right now, they're the ones that can validate each other. You guys experience each other firsthand on levels. Like, Bear, you and Bear had significant, interactions.
Well, John Storm was one of my teachers in the project, in the program, when I was a child. John, Bear Whitebow and I were in Gulf One together, in the first Gulf War. I was one of the chopper pilots who flew aerial combat over top of his platoon to give them cover fire while they went into the museum and ran and pulled all that. I was flying cover.
Oh, snap. Oh, one day we have to have a conversation about that, because I've been doing a lot of research about that operation.
I was flying the X-1Z, the experimental helicopter at that time. I was the pilot for that.
Actually, Duncan, while we've got you, before we do lose you altogether, you talked about this around this time, and you mentioned magic. So we had a conversation when we finally got to having a private conversation. We talked about magic, and we talked about how our tools are not working as they used to. What do you think with the whole arches going up and the magic around that? What do you think's going on right now energetically?
It's not working the way it used to because the rule book has been thrown out the window.
Whose?
Okay, the whole rule book is gone. Not only do we...
Whose rule book, though?
What is the rule book?
Well, the rule book...
No, whose rule book? Like ours, theirs?
Universally rule.
It's a universal rule book, actually. It's kind of... A lot of it is unwritten rules. Demons stay here. We stay here. Demons can cross over only when summoned, et cetera, that kind of thing. But what we have going on now are small portals being opened all over the world and things coming through, interdimensional entities, powers, creatures, whatever you want to call them, fueling the demonic, et cetera, putting their shit in there. So none of the status quo, even on with us, none of the status quo that we would do that work doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
It's 10 times as hard to do anything as it used to be 5 years ago.
It's 10 times, what Duncan just said is right now it's 10 times as hard to do anything energetically, ritually, as it was 10 years ago. And I agree, because in the last few months, it's been like everything you try, the usual stuff, as we discussed, it's like wading through
Are you finding that with
swamp
healing
mud.
as well?
Like everything is like you got to work so hard, and sometimes you got to do it over like 2, 3, 4 times to get
The same result.
the same result.
No, you're right. As a matter of fact, last walk.
Can't hear you, Duncan.
About a year.
A little over a year ago, the last Grey Walker meeting that I was in, that was the main topic of conversation. And we all dealt with the same thing. We all dealt with possession, demonic, et cetera, and that was the main conversation that we all had. Nothing is working anymore. We'd all been doing this for 20 years. Nothing was working anymore. We were having to look at different ways, different avenues.
I completely
to
disagree.
deal with things.
That's a lovely thought, and you may want to think that. I'm reading the chat, and someone had just put in the chat, if it's for the benefit of all humanity, it works. No, I'm sorry, I disagree. I don't do work of that level that is not to the benefit of humanity, and it's not working. And I get where people want to think, and I can only give you my own personal. I get that people want to think that this is it's all love and light and it's all beautiful, and if it's all a good thing, then it'll work, and if it's a bad thing, it won't work. No, I'm sorry. I'm watching things not.
But at the same time, we've been saying for a while now that the stuff they're trying to do that's negative is not working either.
No, exactly.
It's not supported. But it's like everything's changed. The shit that they're trying to do isn't working anymore. The stuff, the tools and the resources that we've relied upon aren't quite working the same way anymore.
Yep.
That's why they're panicking and scrambling. They're trying to make it up as they go along now, because even their shit's not working. But I think it is across the board. It's not just that the love and light and positive energy stuff still works or is supported and the negative isn't. It's everything. It's just changed right across the board.
And let me throw this out there too, especially to the people on the chat and people that are listening. I've been doing this since I was 6 years. God damn it, the fuck.
You're a popular guy.
I'm in a bad fucking mood, okay? But I've been doing this since I was 6 years old, okay? I've been trained in every form of magic there is. I was sent to Ireland to train with the Druids before I was a teenager. And they were both killed after they trained me. And that was in the project. That was in the MK Ultra program. I've been doing this my entire life. So when I say that things are bad, they're freaking bad. You know, we are entering the grand conjunction, the grand convergence, the grand alliance, whatever you want to call it. Up will be down, down will be up. Nothing will work the way.
And that goes into.
Let's see, I'll get a different take on that too.
But this is what I'm saying. But all of this comes into the same thing we're talking about. You get the Nibiru stuff, which I don't necessarily believe, but the whole convergence. We have the Hopi prophecies, and even the Hopi prophecy, if I remember correctly, there's a line in the Hopi prophecy about exactly that. Up will become down, down will become up.
Yeah.
The Wakadokde,
Yep.
the Mohawk Nation, the Gunyangahaga said, same thing. Their prophecy is that up will become down, up, it will go back, it'll go forth. On a geomagnetic scale, looking at purely from science, technology, far enough advanced, is indistinguishable from magic. What we call magic is literally technology. It is technology that we are working with the energetics, etc. Right now, the entire planet's energetics are fucked. And if we're looking at the shifting of the planet and the shifting of the geomagnetics and the electrical fields of the planet, that to me, even scientifically, speaks to the fact of why all of a sudden shit just doesn't work. Because it's everything's not what it originally was.
Okay, you got it. Now look, from here to here, on a timeline scale, the energy frequency has been the same. Okay, everything that we've done, all the human race has done from here to here, with the energy frequency is the same. Everything's working. We're not here anymore.
Yeah,
we're here. The frequency is changing. If we don't learn to change with that frequency, we're fucked.
I agree.
That frequency,
the Schumann frequency is going like this.
Yeah.
So if we're not moving with the Schumann frequency, then our interactions energetically are going to be off. Like if
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about,
Okay, I agree with
that's
that.
all I'm saying is that what he's saying. If you're not shifting with all these changing frequencies, that you go to do something and it just doesn't work because the frequency that you were originally working at, or the energy, is no longer where you left it. It's not in your back pocket anymore. It's in the back pocket of your jeans you left 3 blocks back, and you got to go back and go find it. That's all I'm saying.
Having said that, though, I think that we are, on as a whole, and potentially being supported to move with the Schumann frequency. Most of us, I think, are. I think, and more people are all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that
that's where our tools have to evolve.
we are seeing all of this, and we've talked about it before, that we're seeing all this craziness and all this negativity and all this satanic, demonic bullshit going on. But at the same time, we are also seeing some really, really positive stuff.
Yeah.
I think the volume has been turned up to 11 on both. They're both becoming more intense. They're both becoming more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still there in duality and in balance in a way.
But it's just crazy.
The dial's been turned up on both.
What you're looking at is total polarization. Okay? You can do that better than
No, I'm not.
you can do it better than I can. Is
Sorry, I'm shy.
the people who are dark are becoming
darker.
While light are becoming lighter. And that's the way it is. We're becoming more polarized. The gray center is going. This is what I said 17 years, almost 17 years ago. That time would come when there's no gray area.
There's no gray.
No, there's no gray anymore, yeah.
That's very interesting. I hadn't even thought about it. Yeah, but there it is. There is no gray anymore.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
No. It's
Now,
like there's no more time for sitting on the fence. It's fucking pick a side. Because
what we're looking at.
No, exactly. That's exactly
what we're looking at from here. Yeah, get small camera. Imagine, okay, we're in the center, right here. All these different realms here, here, what have you. They're all lining up to here.
With a grand alignment.
That's the grand alignment. Happens some people say 26,000, 26.5, 36,000, 50,000. Different people say different numbers. Doesn't freaking matter. Okay? This is what is known as the grand alignment. When the grand alignment takes place, there's no bets. There are no bets.
Say that again. There are no what?
There's no bets. All bets are off.
All bets are off. Got it. Okay, got it.
When that
that almost works with the yellow rose of Texas, what she's kind of talking about, that tilt, right?
Yep.
Yep. You run away for a second. Can you bring me a drink? No, never mind. I'm just joking. No, I've got one. It's okay. I've got one. This is just it. I mean, I guess this is the moment where we're going back to the topic of magic, where we have to learn to work with the new energies, and we have to kind of like you talk about frequencies changing, and the frequencies change. We need to be able to work with those and kind of redial into the new frequencies in order to make things work again.
Right. Right.
Interesting. Well, you know what? I mean, I have a feeling they're having issues with their own GPS systems, so I guess everyone's GPS system needs to be realigned.
GPS systems in the future will be, well, let's just say this, electronics in the near future are going to be. Oh, metaphorically?
Yeah, there's GPS.
Okay. I need my GPS.
I got you. I'm on target.
Thank you, Susan.
She hears better than I do.
There you go. So you got Susan there to keep you on track. That's awesome.
She's my ears, definitely.
I just wanted to say something for a second. Because every time I talk about people making a choice, there is always a bit of backlash. No, I'm not going to make a choice, or I'm going to stay centered, it's not about staying centered. Not making a choice is a choice.
Yep, it's still a choice.
It's to choose not to choose is to choose. And there are we are so confronted with what choices to make right now. And it's not about, for me anyway, these choices are choices that we make in each and every moment. And it's not about not being centered or not being in the void or not being in the, what do you call it?
In the heart
zero space or whatever.
0 point.
Because if you make your choices from that space,
you make your choices,
then you're making a balanced, non-reactionary, centered choice. But you're still making a choice. And we had a conversation the other day around just having children and becoming a parent, and the number of choices that you are confronted with from the moment you find out you're pregnant. You know, you choose every time you put something in your mouth. You know, should I eat this or not? Do I choose to eat this or not? Do I choose I have to choose about medications. I have to choose about everything I put into my body. I have to choose where I want to give birth, how I want to give birth. Do I choose what drugs to take during the labor? And then the baby's born, and do I choose to take vitamin K, heel prick test, you get it circumcised if it's a boy, vaccinate.
Immunized, yep.
The choices that we make don't stop. They are constant and consistent. And that never stops from the moment you had a child, and I don't care how old they are. And that got me thinking about where we're at now and the choices that we're being asked to make in each and every moment. For me, it was having to make those choices when I first became a parent that opened me up to so much more.
Yeah.
That was my trigger for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But every day we are bombarded with choices about how to interact, whether or not to react, to say centered or not, to pick a side in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not debating the 0 point or the centered aspect. That's where we need to be making these choices from, in my opinion.
Any choice.
But I think I don't think there is an option to not make one. And I don't even think it's possible to not make one, because the choice to not make one is making one. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. No. Exactly. No, I agree. Because even choosing not to make a choice is making a choice to not make a choice. It's still a choice.
See, there is no middle ground. It's like playing the old Frogger game. You gotta stay in the middle lane, you're going to get squished.
It feels like if you don't make a choice, it will be made for you right now anyway, but by the choices that those around you make.
Yeah.
If you don't make a choice, it means you give up your free will, and that choice will be made for you. And that choice, and that will be made on the life you live.
Well, that's kind of what Yellow Rose from Texas was talking about too, kind of.
This actually, to me, comes back to our creator status. I think we are creators, and we do create our reality, and we do all that, and we have the power to do that, and we do it through the choices that we make. It's not all about sitting there and meditating and visualizing and only that happens. That because that's the thing I consciously put my energy into. We're creating it all the time.
Every choice.
At every moment with every choice.
Well, I can go back. I can go back to how many years ago now? God, how many years ago? I was dragged in. I was hooded, put in the back of a car, dragged into a meeting. In front of the council and told to choose which side I wanted to go with.
You know,
in the middle, I chose to go with the human race.
Yeah, and Jeff just made a really good point too, which is that, I mean, we are given the illusion of choice.
Yes.
For example, with politics, right? You can choose between this guy, or this party or that party, and it's a false choice. It doesn't mean that we only have to choose between what's presented to us. We have the choice to go, you know what, no to that, no to that. I'm going to choose something completely different.
I don't consent to this one, and I don't consent to that one, and I'm going to choose
to create something
completely new.
So much of what's going on right now, especially i.e. politics, that's a fabricated choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a real choice.
True freedom is the freedom to choose something else completely different.
Yeah. And believe me, when you come to politics, I know what I'm talking about. My college degree was in political science. So I know a little bit about political science. And there is no choice.
Sorry. In political science, there is no choice.
There's no choice.
Democrat, Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That we haven't had a president that has any power since, at minimal, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Voting for a president is non-consequential. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
No, exactly. They don't have all they are is a puppet.
It don't mean a damn who you vote for.
Yep.
Especially now.
That's exactly it. It doesn't make a difference. It really, really doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's a fake choice.
But
it's like choosing between Burger King and McDonald's.
Yeah.
They're both going to kill you.
Burger
Can we just ask the audience, because what we are getting is
Exactly.
Hang on.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Susan.
Hi, Susan.
I just want to ask an audience point of view. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to ask an audience point of view, because what we're getting in the United States is it varies in opinion, and I guess on multiple facets, I guess intellect, I don't know. But do people want to hear about MK Ultra to the fullest extent or not? I'm just curious.
I do.
Not everybody does. That's for sure.
Not everybody does. No.
Honestly, the just dealing with, and my personal
not really.
Interaction, everything. I don't know on a global scale, but what I've been seeing here in America, it just seems so, they just don't care.
Well, the majority in the chat room are answering yes, they do want to hear it. And I think I think for the most part, we know that whatever is done in those programs is also done on a large scale to the general public. So the more we learn about the finer details that work in these programs, we learn to be a bit more observant about what goes on
And
generally.
And to be straight up, all the times that we have talked about MK, and even several years before when I was talking about it, I'm telling you, 99% of the positive responses that I got and that we've got have been from sources other than the United States.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Sorry, the only reason I'm asking is because I feel like there's recently, you know, the predicament that we're in and that what I've been exposed to firsthand, I was like, well,
I'm sorry. I really am.
It's obviously
in my six.
6. Fuck you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck off.
I never believed that I would get to a point in my life that I would actually, you know, Facebook friends that I blocked a lot of this stuff from because I separated, you know, my involvement. I knew that no one would understand. Like, out of my time, actually understood my involvement with Duncan and everything, and have explained the situation that he went through. Two people maybe. One person specifically, you know, Tanya, she had a lot more understanding, and that's just based on.
I went at her head.
Well, because he helped her, yeah, and also that she had a father that was really that. You know,
we can't hear you, Susan. You're fading out.
Really fading.
Lean in just a little better.
I'm not that awesome.
She's like, don't make me get in front of the camera.
Get up.
We're almost just seeing you forward at this point anyway. I said we're almost.
I'm sorry. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
You gotta
Okay.
talk real loud.
Okay, I'll talk really loud.
Okay, talk real.
Oh my God. Anyways, I guess the exposure that I've been through is that here it's such a denial of the existence of it, of the whole MK, and if anything, it just seems so watered down and just completely. It's put in movies. It's put into the social
Brushed
media.
under a carpet.
I'm sorry.
Brushed under the carpet.
Absolutely, that it just looks ridiculous if you even talk about it. It's like, oh, that's just a movie. That's Hunger Games and everything. The reality of it, and this is just my being with him, and not that he exposed all of it to the media. There's so much that he has not talked about,
Yeah.
and I guess I kind of pushed a little bit more on the avenue, and especially meeting Bear and knowing his situation, and also John Storm, and John Storm with the absolute guilt, the training and aspects of it, and what I've been privy to and information of it. It's heart-wrenching. It really is. It's going on now, and to anyone who says that it's not going on and it has not been, you know, it's diluted. It's so diluted.
Stopped. No, they haven't done that since the 70s. Oh, that was stuff they did before. They don't do that now. That's the rhetoric.
We spent, like, people that who called us friends and everything, they said, after we left their house and everything, and they said, oh, yeah, you know, we've been lied to so much. And then later on, we've been told after listening to interviews, literally a week after we just spent days with them, weeks and months with them, they said, oh, the whole program has just been underground. But you know what? Tell that to all the children. Tell that to all the little kids that actually been sacrificed.
Yeah.
You tell it to me and tell me that it wasn't worth it and it's just all mitigated, brushed under the rug.
I agree with this too.
You would to hear that just within his experience, not in talking about the other people's experience, just with his experience, it's hundreds, thousands of kids sacrificed for this.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very, very heart-wrenching.
What something Johnny just said in the chat room, he just said compulsory schooling is a watered down MK Ultra project. Compulsory schooling right now is literally like that watered down how they push it out across the entire public.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree with that.
I don't think people make the connection between the child sacrifices and MK Ultra. That is like
Two different things.
two different things. As child sacrifice belongs to the satanic stuff and the rituals and all of that. MK Ultra is about programming soldiers.
But
Yeah,
it's all the
it's
same.
all connected.
It's all connected. I know,
Yep.
but I've had those discussions too, and it's like, but that's something different. It's like, but no, it's not. It's all connected.
It's all connected, and you'll notice. Even I think there is a book written by Judy or something. The 22 Faces of Dani Hill. She talks about it. That specific case was specifically just with satanic ritual abuse, but she also talked about how it was connected with the CIA and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's all connected, and there's an underlining esoteric feel to everything within military, within satanic ritual, within it all. They still touch upon the dark arts. They still touch upon these energetic forces. They use that as a source. And I know that there is so much more that hasn't really been talked about that needs to be talked about, so that in case anyone wants to understand the reality and they want to understand, I guess, their potential at the same time, because there is a light behind all of this. I mean, I'm not trying to be all, to the end degree, but there is a light. There is an understanding with why and what the potential is.
Sorry, Susan, we're losing you.
There is a light. Just go back to you said there is a light in all of this, and everything after that was just like nothing.
We're being cut off.
I said that there is a light between all of this, because the information that comes through these individuals that actually come forth with being in the projects and the unseen degree of what they've been exposed to and what they execute within their ability, what they've been trained to, it touches upon the potential for humans.
Yes.
The potential for a human.
Yes.
And once that gets revealed, and which we're trying to do, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in, and we're freaking stuck. I mean, there's multiple levels on why we're in the situation that we're in. And that, amongst many others, is one of the reasons.
Yeah.
The human potential is beyond means of what you even imagine. And if you just listen and allow the platform to behold, so that these individuals can come forward and talk about their experience and talk about it and share. Because the one thing they want to do is share what they can do and why they can do it, and the reasoning, what they were used for, and why they were picked for what they were used for. And we all have it. And we definitely all have it. And that's
Yep.
That's the part of this information that really needs to come out, and
Yep.
and for people to understand that those who are trained this way are actually just bringing out what we all have innately.
yes.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we've actually hit our 2-hour mark, and I don't know whether you know this, but we are leaving this room open for the next 24 hours for the world to have a party together in this room. So I'm so glad you two got where you are to be able to jump on and join us. And I'm so sorry about the drama you're going through.
This is it. Internet right now is all we got. Our phones are dead. The hotel phone is dead. It's part of being burned. First they cut off they take transportation, then communication, then finances, and then
Go to Bear just posted. He was going to wait to come out a little later, but the emergency was happening now. But if you go to Medicine Bear Whitebow on Facebook, and you'll run into his latest post. Like, you have to scroll down a little bit, but he talks about the Delta Force and where he was involved with everything.
Or go to mine, go down, you'll find it.
Yeah, he tagged us on it too.
If you've got him on Skype, could you send his Skype contact to Dee?
We'll try to once we get off. Yes.
Okay.
And
lovely.
do you have a lot of, really quick, do you guys have a lot of Polynesian audience? Or you're in the South, like Australia?
Yeah, there's quite a bit around. Yes.
Okay, just a shout out to everyone. I've danced hula for most of my life, and I'm a hula dancer.
Yeah. So no, yeah. I made this mistake the first time I met Susan too. She's not First Nations. She's Polynesian.
No, I'm actually, I embrace the Polynesian culture because I loved it ever since I went, and I started taking hula since I was like 15, and Polynesian dancing, and introduced to Samoan. So Talofa, Yorana, Yora, and Aloha.
Nice. Well, we are going to stop recording. We'll say goodbye as far as the show is concerned.
Show.
We will stop recording so we can get this online
right
as quickly as possible, but stay tuned. And as soon as I say go, everybody can turn their cameras on.
And chat and talk.
So thank you to everyone for joining us for the show. I hope you stick around and you can come and go anytime over the next 24 hours. Okay. And let's reclaim the energies of today. So,
yes.
Thank you and bye for now.